Whereas capacitance means, which is denoted by C, is the amount of charged stored per volt, right? Or a capacitance can be a charge per unit voltage. Per unit voltage supplied, how much of charge it can able to store. That is what capacitance. Whereas capacitor is a device which can able to store the electric charge, but capacitance is the amount of store content per unit volt. So that is what capacitance means. That's why it is given by C is equal to Q by V. That means capacitance is the charge per unit voltage. For the unit voltage, how much of charge it can able to store. You can able to see the image over here. This is parallel plate capacitor. Right? Parallel plate capacitor or spiral plate capacitor is there, but we will take the example of only parallel plate capacitor, right? Here. So usually the capacitors will have these type of plates, right? Usually it will going to be having this type of plate in it. Two plates. Here you can able to observe on the image A, which is represent the area, and here you can observe D, small d. This is the distance. So this will explain the next slide about these things, A and D, right? See, Q represent the charge. How much of charge it can able to store in these for the supply unit supply of the voltage from the battery. See, this figure represent with respect to area is concerned, and this figure it represent with respect to distance, right? See here, when a voltage V is applied to a capacitor, it stores a charge Q as shown over here, right? Positive, negative Q. See, it is known that the charges, the like charges will going to repel, whereas the unlike charge will going to attract. And the force between these will going to decrease as the increase in the distance between the two plates. Usually the capacitor will going to have these plates in it inside, right? The capacitors, what we show in the last class, about that it consists of these type of two plates in it. Whenever the voltage is supplied to it, the charge will going to be stored in it, right? Then the charge movement will going to take place, which are having the unlike charges, which will going to attract. See, this unit of capacitance is given as Farad, F. That is the name of the person, Michael Faraday, right? An English scientist who contributed to the field of electromagnetism and electrochemistry. As you know that one, capacitance is the charge per unit voltage. So 1 farad can be given as 1 charge per 1 voltage unit volt. Right? That is what 1 farad is about. See, these two images represent, one is with respect to area of the plate, one is with respect to distance between the plate. How it will going to vary, the capacitance, how it will going to vary, that we will going to discuss in the next slide. Here, factors affecting capacitance. See, capacitance means here it is the amount of charge stored per unit volt which is being supplied. That is what capacitance means. So for this capacitance, what are the factors will going to affect? Mainly there are two factors which will going to affect. One is the area of the plate. Another one is the spacing or the distance between the plate. You can observe here in the image, see the cursor. See here, the area of this particular plate is small. See, two plates are there here and here. Again, here, two plates are there. This is bigger in the area compared to this, right? This smaller area of the plate will have less capacitance, whereas the bigger area of the plate, bigger size of the plate will have more capacitance. That is, it can able to store more charge in it per unit volt because the area is more. whereas here less capacitance because the area is less. This is the one of the factor which affect the capacitance. Similarly, if you come over here, the another factor is the spacing, the distance. You can observe these two images. This is having little bit of more gap compared to this. So higher the gap, higher the distance between the two plates, lesser will be the capacitance. You can observe here. See here, here the closer the plate or lesser the distance between the two plates of a capacitor, more the capacitance will be. You can observe in this image also here. See, one is the area of the plate, spacing between the plates. One more area, one more factor which also may affect is the dielectric material, which is in between. You can observe here, right? This is smaller area, less capacitance. This is having the more capacitance because areas of the plate is bigger one compared to this, right? Again, spacing. More the spacing or far away the plates, lesser will be the capacitance. If lesser will be the capacitance, the amount of charge what it can able to store will getting reduced, declined. Again, the dielectric material. The dielectric material, it can be paper, it can be a liquid or any other material in between, which will separate the plate, which will not make the plates to come in contact. Dielectric material. Suppose if it is air in between these two plates, you can observe here, the permittivity will be around 1.0006, whereas here if it is a glass, the permittivity will be 7, right? So this is having more capacitance, this is having less capacitance. So generally these two will be considered, the area as well as the distance between the two plates. Apart from that, the dielectric material in between the two plates can also be considered to know the capacitance once the voltage is being supplied, right? See, these are all basic for the coming topic. Again, this factors I will explain by taking an example here. So you can observe in this image, right? Here, all of you can able to see over here. See here, this figure 2b, this is bigger one compared to the figure 2a. That means this area of this particular image 2b, it is having 4 meter square. This is 2 meter square. So obviously the area of this will be more. So more the area, more the capacitance will be. That is, more the charge it can able to store. Capacity will be more. Capacitance will be more for this as compared to this. So area is one of the factor which will affect the capacitance. Like a directly proportional. Bigger the area, bigger will be the capacitance, the capability of storing the charge in it. See, generally for two flat plate capacitors, here the equation or what will be C capacitance will be epsilon naught A by D. This area, then the distance. So this image represent area. As area changes or area has been enhanced from this to this, the capacitance of this will be more. You can observe here in this equation. This is 2 times, this is 4 times. Like it is capacitance. C represent capacitance. The capacitance of this bigger area will be more. This is with respect to area. Another factor is distance. See, these are the two flat plate. See here, the distance is 1 meter. You can observe the cursor. Right? Similarly, here, if you take the distance between these two plate is 5 meters. As you know that one, if the spacing or the distance is more and more, lesser will be the capacitance. You can observe here, lesser will be the capacitance. This is 5 meter, the distance between the two plate. You can observe here 0.2. More the spacing, the amount of charge what it can able to travel, it will become decline. Lesser the one, it will be more. Right? Here, the distance between the two plate decreases. Here, capacitance increases. And if the distance increases like this, capacitance is going to decrease. So more the distance, lesser will be the capacitance. And the distance, if it is smaller the distance, it can able to have a higher capacitance. So two factors which will affect the capacitance of a capacitor. One is the area, another one is the distance. So this is a basic concept to understand the next topic, right? I hope you understood this. Two factors which will affect the capacitance of a capacitor. One is the area, another one the distance. So smaller the distance or lesser the gap between the two plates, more the capacitance. So anyhow, for the variation of this, the capacitance is going to be vary, which can be used to utilized to measure the presence of any object or any other physical parameter, right? See now the next topic will be capacitive transducer, which is being assigned with respect to the changing area, right? Just now we discuss about this, right? Area, sorry, here changing area. As the area increases, the capacitance of this will going to increase, correct? You can observe here capacitance changes depending on change in effective area. As the effective area has been enhanced, the capacitance changes, right? Anyhow, you're going to have the variation in it. Right? So this is being analyzed using the torque meter. You can observe here torque meter. The changing the capacitance depends on the effective area. Based on this principle, which will be used in the torque meter. The torque meter is a device which uses the sleeve, which is having the serrations like this, which cut axially and matching the internal members with similar serrations. Right? These are serration means these cuttings. What you can able to see over here, these serrations. Right? See, the torque carried by an elastic member causes a shift in the relative position of these serrations. Right? A torque carried by the elastic member twisting motion will make a relative change or change in the position of the these serrations. So because of that, the area will going to vary, and that a change in that effective area will make the capacitance going to be vary, and thereby you can able to measure the torque which is being applied. So that is one of the physical variable which can be measured using the capacitive transducer by making changing in the effective area which come in contact with it, right? You can observe in this image also, right? Like this torque or twisting moment, the plate when it going to slide with respect to another area, you can observe here, right? Compared to this one, the full area it has been covered, more capacitance. As because of the torque, because of the movement of the inner serration with the outer serration, here the effective area has been reduced. All of you can able to see over here, right? You can observe here this blue color one, right? Because of this, capacitance going to be reduces, less capacitance. What I mean to say is this, as the capacitance will going to be vary, it is an indication that there is a variation, there is a torque, some twisting motion will be there. That amount can able to measure, that physical variable can able to measure by using this capacitive transducer by changing the area torque meter. So this is what somewhat the torque meter will going to be look like, right? These things what you can able to see here, right? Whenever the rotational torque is being applied, there will be the movement, the serrations. You can observe the serrations over here, right? As it moves, there will be a change in the effective area. Thereby, the capacitance going to be vary. You can observe here, right? Capacitance will going to be vary. Reduce will going to be somehow will going to vary. That is indication of that physical variable which you can able to use the principle to measure. So this is the capacitive transducer with respect to change in area, right? Here, this principle which is being used over that in the torque meter. The next one will be capacitive transducer changing distance. Changing distance. Like we discuss here, changing distance. All of you can able to see here, changing the distance. As the distance between the two plates or two surfaces will be increased, there will be reduction in the capacitance. Lesser the distance, lesser the gap between the two plate, more will be the capacitance. You can observe here. And this uh, principle is being used over here. Capacitive transducer changing the distance. You can observe this image, right? You can observe here. You can narrate these two images. You can observe here. This image is going to have the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a flexible element which even can able to apply for the compression or for the tension, which can able to expand, right? And this will be the another electrode, right? You can assume these two are like the plate, right? This is one, and in between that the distance, that is what here we are discussing, changing the distance between this and this plate. So whenever the pressure is being applied to this diaphragm, this will going to deform. So obviously this, what you can able to see here, change in the clearance, that is the distance, will going to differ. When the change in the distance will going to differ, the capacitance, what you can see over here, you can observe here, capacitance is going to be vary, and that indicate the amount of the physical variable which you are going to be measuring. In this example, it is the pressure. So you can call it as capacitive type pressure transducer. Here it is transducer because it is converting one form to another form. The one form of the physical quantity, that is pressure, into electrical signals. That's why it is a transducer. Pressure transducer because pressure is being measured as an input signal using the capacitive by having the variation in the distance. Somewhat the animation you can able to observe here. Somewhat this diaphragm is going to be deformed like this. So the distance vary between the fixed and the movable plate. So thereby the capacitance is going to be changes. Capacitance is nothing but the amount of the charge content for the given voltage, and that is the indication of the amount of the physical variable which will going to be measured. Changing distance. I hope all of you are understanding what I'm telling, right? One is changing the area, and this is changing the distance. You can observe here, right? This is like MCQ question, right? What must be done to a capacitor in order to increase the amount of charge it can hold? You can observe here, always capacitor means flat plate capacitor, two plates it consists of. This is area, this is distance. All of you can observe the cursor, which is connected to a battery. Here the question is, what must be done to a capacitor in order to increase the amount of charge it can hold? In order to make this capacitor, which is nothing but the plate, to hold more amount of charge in it, what should be done for it? Here the options it is given. So increase the area of the plate. Second option, decrease separation between the plate, there is a decrease in the distance. The third one, decrease the area. The fourth one, either one or two. The fifth one, either two or three. So here the answer it is been highlighted. Nirmala has raised her hand. Okay, I will.
Oh no, sir, to answer the question, that's all.
Okay, okay, right. Okay, fine. So I hope all of you are understanding what I'm trying to tell you about that. This is just an MCQ, so that you can able to understand the concept in a better way, right? Here the answer is option one or two, because answer, see, increase the area of the plate, so this amount of charge can be hold will be more, or decrease the distance separation between the plate. Either of this will make more the charge content in this flat plate, right? That is the answer for this MCQ. Similarly here, the answer it has been mentioned already. Anyhow, you just observe it. See, a parallel plate capacitor initially has a voltage of 400 volt and stays connected to a battery. This image they are telling. If the plate spacing is now doubled, the distance is being increased. What will happen? You can observe here: voltage decreases, voltage increases, charge decreases, charge increases. Both voltage and charge change. See, the answer is charge decreases, because as the distance increases, the amount of charge what it can able to store in the flat plate will going to get decrease. The charge, not the voltage. Voltage is being supplied and charge is the one which will be stored in the flat plate. Voltage, what you are observing, is what it is being sent. The capacitance is Q by V, amount of charge content per unit voltage. So there is the distance variation and the area variation will differ the capacitance. That principle of variation in the capacitance can be used to measure the physical variables. So this diagram, we'll come back to that, the same figure, the diagram which we are discussing, capacitive transducer by changing the distance. You can observe this image, right? This is the static plate or the fixed plate. Assume this will be the diaphragm itself will be the moving plate. So whenever the pressure is being applied, the diaphragm which is be flexible will tend to deform. So the distance between these two plates will tend to be going to be decrease. So whenever the distance is going to decrease, the capacity is going to be vary, and that can be used to measure. So the diaphragm connected to a movable plate, and the diaphragm senses the pressure. Then it's going to expand or compress, and this movement of the diaphragm would affect the attached metal plates position. Thereby, the capacitance is going to be vary. So this is how the capacitive transducer can be used, either by changing the distance or by changing the area. You can able to vary the capacitance of a capacitor, which can be used to measure the physical variables. Right? I hope you understood this. So some of the advantages and disadvantages of this capacitive transducer. See, coming to the advantages, it requires extremely small forces to operate and are highly sensitive capacitive transducers. See, they have good frequency response, hence used for dynamic measurements. High resolution can be obtained, capacitive transducer. So that's why in the mobile, what you are having is a capacitive touch screen, not resistive touch screen. What you are having earlier, a decade back, you're going to have the resistive touch screen, where the person has to put all the force to open a particular app in a mobile. Nowadays, what you are going to have, it is feather touch, but capacitive touch screen is the one which is mostly used in the mobiles also. Capacitive touch screen, right? See, they have high input impedance and hence loading effects are minimum. So these type of transducer can be used for application where stray magnetic field render the inductive transducers useless. Stray magnetic field means magnetic obstruction for the generation of the magnetic field. So coming to some of the disadvantages of this, metallic parts must be properly insulated and the frames must be earth. They should they show non-linear behavior due to edge effect, and guard ring must be used to eliminate this effect. They are sensitive to temperature, affecting their performance. The instrumentation circuit used with these transducers are complex. Capacitance of these transducers may change with the presence of dust particles and moisture also. That is, it is very highly sensitive, right? There is the one advantage. Here you can observe highly sensitive. At the same time, by presence of any small particles or the dust, it will lead to variation in the capacitance, which may lead to give the error result. So there is another disadvantage of the capacitive transducers. Next, another topic what we are going to discuss will be piezoelectric transducers. So as the name represent piezo, piezo means pressure. Electric transducer. That means piezoelectric transducer, as the name represents, piezo is pressure. So by applying mechanical pressure, we can convert the pressure or mechanical motion into electric charge. So that is what piezoelectric transducers means. And the effect of this is called as piezoelectric effect. Right? Converting mechanical to electrical signals. Piezo means pressure, application of the pressure. And here you can observe in this image, this is what the piezoelectric transducer will look like. It is like a thin coin. You can observe here, right? One is positive, one is negative terminal. You can observe here, this is the piezoelectric crystal. By applying the force, you can observe here, bottom force, top force. By applying the force, these type of piezoelectric crystal can able to develop the output voltage, charge. These crystals are having that property, that mechanical pressure or the force is converting directly into electric charge. You can observe here in this image, right? See pressure, shock or sound wave, it can go to generate the voltage, mechanical energy to electrical energy. The piezoelectric crystal is having this type of property in it. It can able to develop the small voltage output. The charge it can able to develop. So here this piezoelectric crystal, it is being kept between the two plates, two plate electrodes, which is connected over here. Right? So whenever the force is applied onto these plates, the stress will be produced in the crystal. So this is the piezoelectric crystal. And because of the force what will be applied, it tend to deform. And it induces a charge, that is Q, which is will be D into F. So F will be the stress or the force which is applied. So D will be the piezoelectric constant. And the output will be E is equal to G into T into P. See, G is called voltage sensitivity. And T will be crystal thickness. You can observe here. This is the T, small t, thickness. And P is the pressure which is being applied. So by application of this force, we can able to obtain the voltage from these type of piezoelectric materials. And the effect is called as piezoelectric effect. And this is what the piezoelectric material or piezoelectric sensor will look like. Positive terminal, negative terminal. Simply by applying the pressure, it can generate the small charge in. So this is what the animation of the piezoelectric sensor. So this is the piezoelectric material. By applying the force, you can observe here the output, small voltage it can able to generate charge. So you can observe another example here. This is a lighter, but it is not like a normal lighter. You can observe here it is having the piezoelectric element in it, whereas a normal lighter does not have this piezoelectric element. You can observe here this is normal lighter. You can observe, right? All of you can observe in the screen. This is the normal lighter. You might have observed here, you might have seen this type of lighters which is having the wheel, and these type of lighters will be very difficult to flame, to get the fire, because it has to stuck to the stone. Then only the spark will generate, then only it can fuse the gas present in the chamber. This is like a normal lighter. Here it is piezoelectric lighters. That much of effort is not required to generate the flame because it is piezoelectric element. Whenever apply pressure, you can observe the animation, it can able to generate the charge which can able to fuse the gas or the liquid present in this lighter. So directly you're going to flame it. See the difference between this and the this. This require more effort. It is not that much efficient compared to this. Whereas this it is having the piezoelectric element in it. So this is what the some examples of this piezoelectric transducer. Why it is transducer? Because it convert the mechanical energy or mechanical pressure into electrical signals or the electric charge. That's why it is a transducer. Piezo means pressure. Electric is what? The electric charge what is going to generate. That's why it is called piezoelectric. So this is what the piezoelectric transducer, how it's going to work usually. Right? You can observe this image, the first image. So this is normally the charge in the piezoelectric crystal. Piezoelectric is a material actually, right? It's a crystal. In that crystal or material, basically the charge in that crystal or the material, all the charges will be balanced like this. Actually, it will be in the balanced position, right? So the effect of these charge exactly cancels out, leaving no net charge on the crystal faces. So whenever you press this material, piezoelectric material or crystal, you can observe here, whenever the mechanical force is being applied to it, these charges, which is earlier it is well balanced, now it will move on to the other places. That is, it go out of balance. So because of this out of balance, the charges, which is called dipole moments of the charges. So no longer the cancellation of charge with the another one, the negative and the positive charges, and it will be appeared on the one of the crystal face like this. This will become positive charge, this will become negatively charged. You can observe the cursor, positive and negative, because of the application of the pressure. Earlier it is well balanced, now it is being separated. Charge separation is going to take place because it cannot able to, there is no longer cancellation of one another. There will be separation of the charges, and because of that one side will become positive, another side will become negative. If it is connected to a battery or if it is connected to any other light source, it will going to glow because of the voltage potential. It can able to generate the power. Continuously it has to be pressed, right? Compression. Because of that the charge will going to get separation like this. So this, so the piezoelectric materials will going to work. You can observe the another image over here, how the charges will going to get displaced because of the squeezing or pressing of the crystal. that is forcing the charges to go out of balance. Thereby one side will become positive, other side will become negative, and that it can able to generate the a voltage which can able to charge the other elements. See, now the question is, usually this is piezoelectric material, right? These piezoelectric material, it can able to generate the a voltage charge. Can it be used to charge the mobile also? Right? Usually the people are going to ask this type of question generally, right? Piezoelectric material, because it has a capability to generate the charge, can this will be used to charge the mobiles? Is it sufficient enough to charge the mobile simply by applying the pressure? You can able to obtain the charge out of it as output, right? See here, the Virginia Technologies has made an analysis about these piezoelectric material. That is uh, how the charging of the mobile phone or the cell phone by using the principle of piezoelectricity. They made the analysis, research, and they found that it is possible to charge the mobile phone by using the piezoelectric material. That is by following the principle of piezoelectricity. It is possible, right? This is called green power. Simply by applying the mechanical force or the pressure, you can able to generate a small charge out of it, which can be used to charge the mobile also. This is called green power. So this is what that experiment what they have done. You might have seen the torches, mechanical torches, which does not have the shell. Only it is going to have the metal element inside it. Simply by shaking the torch for a longer period of time, you can able to use for a few minutes the batteries, right? The torch. That means it is automatically going to charge. Those will going to have these type of piezoelectric crystals materials in it. It can able to charge the batteries. But here, this type of research what they have done, it shows that it can charge the mobile, but not for a higher amount of charges. Only for the small charging, only for the emergency purpose. It can able to charge, right? See, continuously by tapping on the screen of the mobile or moving the phone around by shaking the mobile, it can charge by itself. A small amount of charge it can able to charge by itself, which can be used for the time when the emergency calls. So that is what the piezoelectric materials, piezoelectricity is about, which can be used to generate the power. So this is one research what made by this particular group of people, right? Simply by shaking or moving the mobile around, you can able to generate the charge, which can able to charge the mobile phones. Piezoelectric materials. So this is what the materials, how it look like, and what are the other materials which can be used. So generally, quartz is the most suitable one. Quartz is the most suitable one, which is used in most of the places, which can able to generate the a small charge. Apart from that, topaz, even the salt also can able to use, right? Apart from that, the ammonium dihydrogen phosphate, even the ordinary sugar, right? At certain pressure with certain arrangement, it can able to generate the power, right? See, these type of transducer not only to generate the power, it can also use to measure the surface roughness, the force, the torque applied, pressure, motion, and the noise involved in it, right? right? So this is what piezoelectric transducer is about. So next topic will be photoelectric transducers. As the name represent, photo means light, photons. Photoelectric transducers, that photons, light energy can be used to convert into electrical energy. That's why it is called photoelectric transducers. The transducer is converting one form of energy to another form. You can observe this image. This is the light. The intensity of the light which falls onto this cathode will make possible to generate the electric charge as a output. You can observe here. See, whenever the light falls onto the cathode, it will emit the electrons, and these freely moving electron, because of the charge separation, this will attract towards the anode, which is positive, and because of the charge separation and the charge attraction towards the anode, it will generate a current out of it, or the electric charge as a output, because of the photon, because of the light. So light is converting into electric energy, photoelectric transducer. Like this, you can observe these, right? These are photons, energy rich. When it strikes, these will get excited. Whenever it get excited, electrons will going to get discharge out of it, and because of this, it's going to attract towards the anode, which is positive. And this charge movement will make a small charge to generate, electric charge to generate. That is what photoelectric transducer is about. See, usually photoelectric transducers, it will be in the form of the tubes, or usually used for counting purpose through periodic interruption of a light source. Usually in the manufacturing line, in the assembly line, in the production line, for counting purpose, you might have observed photoelectric sensors. Usually the person or the operator will not going to count or check for the presence of the any contamination in the bottles or the presence of the material in the containers in the mass production. They're going to use these type of photoelectric transducers or the sensors, which can able to sense the presence of the light. See one example of it. Photoelectric transducer. An example, electric eye for garage door opener. This itself is called as electric eye. Usually in the garages, they're going to have this type of device, photoelectric sensors, or it is called as electric eye. It is a photo detector. Photo detector means it detects the presence of the light. That means it can able to detect the obstruction of the light beam. Whenever there is obstruction of it, it will send a signal to stop, right? That is what. Even in the door safety system, this type of photoelectric sensors can be used for garage door openers, and for the door safety systems, they can use this type of photoelectric sensors. So it will not allow the, or it will prevent the closing of the door, garage door, automatic garage doors. You might have observed, right? That automatic garage door, it will not close by itself if there is any obstacle in between, right? If a person is been standing, it won't close by itself, even though it is automatic, because it has this type of sensor, photoelectric sensor. Even if a person is standing in between the door, if it closes by itself, then there is no point of calling it as a automatic door without any safety norms. That sensor, what it going to sense the human thinking will be this photoelectric sensors. It does not provide any image, only it can detect the presence of the light. And that light, if there is any obstacle of the light, then it will be the signal for the door to stop, right? Usually this will be IR, infrared radiation, which is not visible usually, right? See, another type of photo electric cell. All of you are going to have this type of calculator, right? Calculators, the small solar panels. What it does, this solar panel you might have observed in the calculator, this is also a photo cell, a photoelectric cell. It is also a type of transducer which convert the photons, the light, into electric energy. That's why this will run for a longer period of time without changing the shell or the batteries. Photoelectric cells, which you can observe on the calculators, a small solar panel you can observe here, right? And this is another example of the photoelectric sensor, with which is being used as a proximity sensor. Proximity means nearby, proximity. You can observe the image over here. This image, the garage door, when it going to open, when it going to close, you observe it. Right, you can observe, right? So this will be the emitter receiver. Observe, if the object is in between, see here, this is the emitter, this is the receiver. Assume this is the ball, the red ball will be the object. Whenever it obstacle the light, the door will not going to close. Similarly here, another example here, see, this is emitter, this is the receiver. An object is will be there. Whenever the object will not be there here, which will not obstruct here, the light here, the signal will going to pass, then the circuit completes, right? Even the alarm systems works on these type of photoelectric sensors. You can observe, right? The object, it automatically stops, the door will not continue to close because it has that photoelectric sensors. Electric eye, these are all are IR rays, infrared, which is not visible, right? So these are some of the example for photoelectric transducer. The light itself can be used to convert into some sort of electrical output. That's why it is called photoelectric transducers. It can be natural light or it can be the light from the emitter. So all of you understood this? Photoelectric transducer or photoelectric sensors. Our next topic will be photoconductive transducers. So here, as the name implies, photoconductive. This is with respect to conductance. Transducer. Again, the light is converting into some sort of small voltage output. Photoconductive transducers. You can see the image here. Photo, that is a light. It is being conducted, absorbed by this material. Thereby, the voltage will be going to be vary. And one of the way in which you can able to uh, experience this photoconductive transducer will be this LDR. You can able to observe over here on the screen, right? LDR, light dependent resistor, as the name represent, light dependent, depend on the presence of the light only. Light dependent resistor, LDR. This this photoconductive transducer can be realized by using this LDR as an example. Photoconductive. See, these type of transducer can be used to measure the radiations of all wavelength. Right? See, whenever the light strikes a semiconductor material, its resistance going to be decreases. So thereby it produces an increase in the current. Because of the resistance decreases, it try to increase the current. Right? That principle will be used over here in this LDR. You might have been seen this light dependent resistor. The application of this light dependent resistor will be here. You can observe this animation. What is actually happening here? Resistor, light dependent resistor. Usually the automatic lights. Nowadays this is actually common, right? In order to reduce the usage of the power, these type of sensor will going to be used actually. See here, outer the light, if it is 25%, this has been got reduced to 25. If it is 5%, it has been enhanced. That is, here this LDR will going to sense the presence of this resistance. Right? Whenever light strikes this semiconductor material here, right, the resistance will going to get decrease, and because of that, the current will going to enhance, and that is the principle used in this lights, or you can call it as the light sensors. The human words, the common word will be, it is called as light sensor. In the mobile also you might have seen the light sensor, right? If you switch on to that automatic brightness, whenever you move out in the outside, whenever the bright sun will be there, the screen will automatically going to get more brighter. Whenever you come indoor, the screen will going to get decline. That is, the brightness of the screen will going to get decline. It is a light sensor, right? It depends on the presence of the light. It senses the darkness and then turns on automatically by itself, by sensing it. So this is an example of that photoconductive transducer. It will conduct, which can be used in the light sensors, as you can see over here in this particular example. Photoconductive